daily Team Take Massive Action hangout. Today we've got a very special guest, Alecia Stringer. Sorry, but before I introduce her and get into her story, I just want the panelists to quickly introduce themselves. Sorry, I'm Tian Lee from Melbourne, Australia. Alan?
Yeah, hey, this is Alan from Toronto, and it's actually pretty hot today. And but today I'm really excited to hear Alecia. I kind of knew Alecia on Facebook. I see her videos. She's awesome in video. She's definitely an attraction marketing expert. Yeah, I cannot wait to hear what she has to share tonight. So back to you, Tian.
Thank you. Thanks, Ellen. JJ, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I guess we're doing weather reports again. It's been very hot here in the 90s. No, Houston has been hot. Anyway, my name is Joanne JJ Lee. I'm actually from Austin, but I've been spending a lot of time in Houston. Been traveling back and forth actually, and I'm due back there probably soon. I'm excited to hear what Alecia has to share tonight. One of my favorite topics is actually leadership. And Alecia, actually, we met in Austin and also in Chicago, and she's been phenomenal. She's a phenomenal internet marketer, so can't wait to hear her tonight. Back to Tian.
Awesome, thank you. Hi, Em.
Hey.
How are you? We're just doing introductions. If you want to quickly introduce yourself. Sorry to put you on the spot.
No problem. My name is Emily Nguyen, guys. Sorry for coming in late. I'm from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And as soon as Tian told me that she got Alecia Stringer on here, I was like, yeah. Alecia is an awesome, awesome internet marketer, guys. Make sure you pay attention to her. Bring out your notepad, your pen, your papers, and get those golden nuggets down, because she, I've known Alecia. I met her mostly. I've met her in Austin, but we didn't talk that much. But I met her mostly in, and we got to talk more in at the Orlando event with the Black and Tam, and she's such a knowledgeable stay-at-home mom who knows so much about the online business. So thanks for being on, Alecia, and can't wait to hear what you got to share. Back to you, Tian.
Thank you. Tam, how are you?
I'm awesome. As always, every day is awesome for me. One of the things I learned from the T-Half Echo event is, I'm wearing it right now, is I wake up every morning and I put on my awesome glasses. So I got them on right now. You guys can see. Right? I'm always awesome. Now, today I'm extremely excited because we'll be talking about leadership with Alecia Stringer, and Alecia has been one of the internet marketers that I've seen like all over the place. I've seen her videos. She's very consistent in videos. I actually started internet marketing in 2009, and since then I've heard about Alecia Stringer so long. She's been one of those marketers that I see almost everywhere. And the first time we get to meet live, she didn't know this. I was like starstruck, right? I think it was Orlando. It wasn't in Austin. It was Orlando at the Black and Tam. I knew who she was. She didn't know who I was, right? And she sat right across from me when we sat down to eat, right? I was just trying to contain my excitement. I knew who Alecia Stringer was, but so it was cool. It was cool to get to connect with her. She's down to earth, and since then, we've met at a couple more events, and we've become quite close because we're in the same team, because we're building the same business, and I'm so happy to have her here right now. Yeah, so I'm just we talk about leadership. We have Alecia Stringer. I'm over the moon.
Thank you, Tam. Yeah, today a very important topic. A lot of people actually say that Empower Network is a leadership factory, and it's exactly what it is. I think we're all leaders before we even realise we are. If you're doing something to change your life or to make a difference to other people's lives, you're a leader. And I'm really looking forward to what Alecia has to say. Yeah, we met actually in Austin as well, I think, at my first Empower Network event. And yeah, got to hang out with her in Orlando, learning lots of ninja tricks, which I'm pretty sure Alecia knew most of it anyway. So I'm going to pass the floor to you, Alecia, and looking forward to what you've got to share with us.
Oh, thanks, guys. Y'all are awesome. You guys. This has been so much fun for you guys to put this together and really be able to share each other's story. I'm out here, you know, in Mount Pleasant, Texas, and you see the pianos behind me. I've been teaching piano since I was in college, and I graduated from college back in 2001. So, and then when I had, we moved a couple places, and I had my baby in Georgia, and that's when I couldn't get any more students. I was kind of stuck. You know, it takes a while to build up your studio, and as soon as I knew that peak when I could build a studio, you know, right after school started, I connected with the teachers and, you know, where I needed to be, I still had like no students. It was like a month, and I really had no students, and I had been there like all summer. I was preparing for all my studio and everything like I normally do, and this was a Georgia town that was dead. I was like, what else do I do? There's no way I'm going to have my baby and go back to school. And I had this computer, and it was old. I guess I had a laptop too. And so I sat there on the computer and I've got to figure out a way to make money online. And I heard from, I guess, my husband's sister, that she had a little store and she was, you know, starting to sell stuff. So I was like, well, maybe I can do that and make, you know, some money at home. And I was asking her, so how do you do that? And they would not share anything. They didn't have any suggestions. They were kind of doing this on their own as well. So I was like, fine, I'm just going to figure this out, and Googled everything in the world and got on some surveys, you know, and figured it out. I don't know. I jumped into, back then it was 2008 or so, and pay-per-click was so busy, and I didn't realize that I was clicking on one of those ads in Google and got in, you know, an application. I thought it was so real, you know, having an application out there. I want to apply for this position, and the application, more people are thinking application of a job position, right? I was thinking, do I get a job or is it a business? And I had several conversations, people call me back from, you know, I guess the application that I filled out, trying to figure it out, that, you know, I guess I really don't want a job out there on the internet because I don't want to work for somebody else. You can really make more money having a business. And that's when I really stepped into going, okay, I really do want to have my own business. That's why, you know, I kind of got into it thinking, you know, I'd have my own store, you know, and so forth. So then I was trying to figure out what is affiliate marketing, what is MLM, and what do those mean? And then you figure out, what is affiliate to, you know, is that a business too? So I got, you know, all these free courses to kind of understand that. And I got, you know, you get this trial. I think some people send you like a trial package of whatever this was, and this was a huge affiliate something or the other. I don't know what it was. And I got this affiliate box, and I was like, no, I don't want to do this affiliate box, because it really was a bunch of affiliates, and you'd have to like market each one, and it was so confusing. I was like, no way. I have to like figure out all these links. It was really horrible. And then I was trying to figure out MLM, and I was like, oh, this travel business can be kind of fun, but there's no way I'm going to travel and have this baby, and, you know, my husband just got this new position, so I'm not in the travel business. So I was trying to figure out what this MLM was and affiliate, and I went all top tier. And I found out that the application was $30 to learn the marketing for another high-end product, which was the lowest was $1,000. I was like, I really like that position where people can pay you $1,000 per product or whatever in there. And they had a call center, people that were experienced in this, and I said, this is probably the way I can go. And I tried that out, you know, and after burning up my credit card to figure out pay-per-click, which I never got training for, I thought it was within the system, and figured out, oh, I need to use some books and learn pay-per-click, and my sponsor never told me any of this, right? You just got to figure this out on your own. That, you know, I burned my shirt, and knowing from that company is where I learned the leadership. That marketing training. I learned Andrew, and I learned Norbert, and I learned Brian Finale, and all those leaders in there that in that company, and what they were doing, and how, you know, Jay Kupisak, and I just knew all these different leaders when they were doing, and pay-per-click was where it was at. And I mean, after this golden girl, I forgot her name now, and learning her pay-per-click training, and actually got in, and then something stopped me. I was like, I'm after it. This and this little tool that she had to get me to the next level was not working. I was like, I'm done. I got to figure this out on my own. And that's when I really got into blogging. And someone actually called me up because they found that I was consistent having a business in one IP address. You get some of those cold calls. And found out, you know, you really need to have a blog out there. And I was saying, yeah, that would work really good, and I can share, you know, finally the stuff. And they had some training back on there how to do a blog. So that's when I first created my website, and had, you know, spent too much money for a website, too much money for a blog, going through the learning curve of, you know, how to market that and everything. So I was back in this old school day of trying to figure, you know, with nothing out, going, you know, I'm sitting here at home nursing my baby with the mouse on it, trying to figure this out, right? And going through that I just started so much. And then when I learned from Brian and Norbert how to make videos for the first time, and the first challenge was a testimonial. We were in a group of like 5 other people, and that's what started my videos off, going, I can make a testimonial for 5 people, and then it just grew from there. So I've been doing the blogs and the videos, you know, ever since 2008, 9, and it's just kept on going. And I've been watching, you know, who, you know, dominates Google, who is using those pay-per-click, and you can really, after you're searching after, you know, the internet and Google, really, because I've tried all those other browsers, and there are a lot of browsers, Ask, you know, and Bing and all those, how you dominate on each is, you know, Google goes right back to it, and then, you know, you can dominate on a couple other browsers and not be in Google and testing different things out. But you learn the leaders of who's doing that, and learn, you know, their ad copy and what they're doing in that, and you can really study that. But I wanted to talk today was really pretty much leadership. A lot of people don't study leadership, I guess, like, because I was in the game going, I see they're dominating, and now, you know, I'm trying to figure how they dominate out, get on their email list, and what are they trying to get me to buy next, you know, and how they present that. A lot of people don't understand that you can get on their list and understand how they're presenting it to their audience, that is your training. You know, people don't understand that you can get that training for free, and they don't understand that just put in your email and you're going to get their training whether you know it or not, because you're getting their ad copy, which is so cool. But I went to the leadership summit, I guess, at the Chick-fil-A Leadership Cast about a month ago, and they had a follow-up session afterwards for a free lunch and learn, which had Texas barbecue. You know, I was right there. And then I was in, they gave you a free book, and I got Put Your Dream to the Test. So I might be doing some more you know, reviews and stuff of that as I learn that. 10 Questions to Help You Seize It by John Maxwell. And we know John Maxwell is a leader and was at the Leadership Cast, as well as, you know, a lot of different coaches, and you're always learning different kind of leaders out there in the industry and figure out how they're getting in power, right? How would you approach these leaders to get them in power? And that's the big question of seeing, you know, the top leaders in these MLM companies and any corporate companies. What are their mindsets? And, you know, what are the top women in business today? So you're not only learning just in our company, but you need to know, you know, several companies, you know, to see how their company works. And I love how David Wood shares all that and knows, you know, the businesses he was in, like, you know, Amway, and I mean, I could probably list a tons of businesses that he's in to know the leadership that he's learned from. And that's key too, is to know how the people join a business, how they do their getting started session to move them into the leadership. And I think that's a learning curve itself of why you join different companies too, going, was that really easy? I want to do that for my team. And you always kind of think about those aspects. But I made a blog post of sharing, she had a really good outline of light your leadership on fire. So if people don't know what really leadership is part of, there's 3 steps if you want to write down that communication. And communication is not all talking, right? It's kind of, preparing and a lot of listening. And that's why, you learn that communication in this business, we do a lot of emails. So if you're putting your email in, how are they communicating to you through email? How are they communicating out there in their social networks? Are they using Twitter? Are they using a hashtag that they're famous on? How are they using their communication out there? Because you can tell, oh, they're not using Facebook, and you can really tell it on their social networks where, what they're using. And number 2, development of others. How are they developing other millionaires? And I love how, a lot of leaders in this industry, like in Empower Network on our team, we have, our big Layla Stats, or Layla Black, that is, sharing the development of others. She wants to create 10 millionaires in this business. And that's kind of where I was starting under Jay. He wanted to create 100 millionaires. And that was his passion. I was like, oh, that's my goal too, It's like, oh yeah, and you got to really prove it, right? You're going, oh, I want to create another millionaire too, but first I got to be one. Right? So, and that's really the fact that, Layla is so close. Is she a millionaire yet? I think they're getting close.
Yeah, I think they're pretty close.
They're pretty close. So you got to be a millionaire first, create more millionaires, and they're moving in that direction. You're joining the people that are moving in that high direction and have that high leadership bonus that they want to help people make money. But if they want to help people make money so bad, you got to have number 3, humility. Right? You can't be focused on yourself to create that millionaire. You got 100 more you want to create, and so you've got to move in that direction. That I like the quote: "We are all worms, but I do believe I'm a glowworm." Right? You got to believe in yourself, but you got to believe in so many more. There's so many tips here. I wrote a blog post that has a lot of these what is leadership and quotes in here. But I have like a little action activity that I kind of wanted the audience and you guys to see if you can participate. And she made us take a piece of paper if you're writing some notes, and if you just fold it in half, there's going to be 2 columns. One column I want you to write is a characteristic of a leader. What are some different characteristics, maybe one word of that you would say would be a characteristic of a leader? And if people could comment in the comment stream, that would be awesome, so we can get some feedback on what is really a characteristic you see maybe, and me being a leader sharing this with you, if you call that, right? Leaders on this panel, that what qualities they have just in their first impressions to you and their introductions, what did they share, qualities of who you think maybe that write books, that give you audios, that are sharing leadership out there. Where do you seek your leadership? What kind of characteristics of that leader that you think you're following, or that you're attracted to? Because people are attracted to different types of people, right? So what are some characteristics, if I can have some feedback of what you wrote down?
Inspiring.
Em?
Good.
Motivational.
Cool. JJ?
I'm sorry, problem solver.
That's a good one. 10?
Listener, good listener.
Awesome. And for me, mine was faith.
Oh, that's good. Some of you guys are, thinking very broad. You got inspiration and motivation and faith, and it's just kind of like a very broad characteristics. And if you think of that Pacific leader, what is the top leader that you follow that you're really going, that's the person I want to be? I think you can dive down into a more Pacific quality that you can pick out, because I was thinking, passionate, they're attractable to many, they're strong. Did anybody write any comments? I didn't check. No comments. We have any visitors here? Come on, guys. They're honest. They know how to lead a group. I always think, because I'm a teacher, that teachers are leaders. So I think that visionary kind of thing of trying to think out of the box. So those are some characteristics if you wrote down, on one side. The other side, you think about the possibility. Okay, she gave this little test. If you take your hands together, clasp them together, which thumb is on top? Come on, show it, prove it.
Left one.
Left.
The left one, yeah, left.
Right.
Left.
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 All right.
Well,
if you have,
I'm the only one with the right thumb on top.
watch out, girl. The right one. You are the thinker. Very smart. She is our thinker. Next one. Watch out, the rest of you guys. You're just sexy. I was like, that's so clever. I love that. Now, you have to reverse that. Clasp it, and your other thumb has to be on top. Okay, so now how does that make you feel, JJ? Not sexy,
Doesn't
huh?
feel right.
Yeah.
It's not sexy. It leaves you uncomfortable feeling.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the feeling that you need to be as a leader. Always in that reverse function, because we're always thinking out of the box. We always have to feel that uncomfortable feeling to make us grow, right? So if you're thinking, for 21 days I'm going to practice putting my thumb on top of my other thumb that I'm not used to, then I'm a thinker, not so sexy. That was but it gets you into that uncomfortable feeling, and 21 days equals a habit, right? And then we're thinking, oh, now I'm used to that other thumb being on top, and I can automatically clasp and be there, and that's when you're exposed to something different, and you got exposed to that new leadership role that you want to go to. If you see, that quality that you wrote down in that leader that you don't have, that's what you really need to be working on, right? You always need to be working on that leader. Okay, the other reason why I said the other side of the paper was list some people that you think is a good leader. Just make a list, of at least 3 to 5 leaders that you can think of that you see yourself as being a good leader, someone you follow, someone you want to be, and list that. And let me get some feedback. Hopefully there's somebody commenting on some good leaders in the comments below. They're here. We'll see. I haven't seen any comments yet. All right, give me some feedback, guys. List off some leaders, some good leaders. You got to name them.
Oh, actually, Alan, do you want to go first? We'll go in order.
Sure. Alecia Stringer.
Rock on!
Cool. Do you have any more?
Well, Tony Robbins.
Yep. Cool. M?
I really like T.R. Vecker. Tony Robbins is definitely one of the leaders that I look up to as well. David Wood, can't forget about him. And yeah.
Cool. JJ?
I like the motivational speakers or legends, such as Zig Ziglar, who passed recently, Jim Rohn, what's his name? I forget. Well, a lot of the motivational speakers. And I know that Alan's been quoting a lot of from Bruce Lee. He's actually one of my heroes, all-time heroes. And he's got some great, great quotes himself. So
awesome. Thank you. Tam?
I have so many, but I guess I'll start with Alan Luck, Emily Nguyen, Joanne Lee, and Tin Lei. And then there's another level. We've got like within our company, we've got Lawrence Tam, Chris Record, Layla Black, and so many more. And then on a bigger scale, we've got guys like Trump, Branson, and yeah, there's just so much people out there that you can model. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys have listed a few that I've written down. One that has really touched my heart is Les Brown. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a motivational speaker as well. But yeah, a lot of mine are similar to all of yours. So, who are yours, Alecia? I'm curious to know.
Awesome. I did that too. I listed some leaders that I was close to: Dave and Dave, LT. Some team members I'm in, Scott, Then I went to Deepak Chopra, Maxwell, Condoleezza Rice, and my dad. And it really take that right there and see if you can match those leaders with some of the character traits that you just listed. And does it match to the leaders that you just mentioned, to the character traits that you just mentioned, as in a leader? And that's where you got the dividing line. You can match them up. But it was really empowering to know that when you list good leaders, there's usually at least one person that you're close to, that you can go to and talk to about the leadership or something that is going on with you in the world, or that you can really reach out right then. And I was like, oh yeah, I kind of did put my dad, and I put my sponsor and my team members, and I do consider him as a leader that we're mentoring kind of together in good leadership. And I think that was very powerful, going, people out there in the world don't think that they have to relate on the dead leaders, I guess you would say, or the deceased, or the ones that have passed that have created that legacy for us, because JJ mentioned those, those motivational speakers that, have passed on and have left their legacy, left their, their training, their videos for us, and their audios and books and everything, and that we don't have to rely on just those leaders, that they're right beside us, and we take their knowledge and we're growing in leadership like that. And I thought that was very powerful to think, leadership just isn't on something of history. You have to learn from history and everything to help become a better leader. And I thought that was very powerful. I thought it was really interesting. Last thing I guess I'll share was she had several plans of actions afterwards. And I love those too. But I'll do like last little leadership competencies she shared, which is kind of a little confusing. There's 5 leadership competencies, if I'm saying that right, I guess I am, on how you develop leadership. There's, I'll list all 5, and then I'll kind of explain them a little bit, if that's okay. I don't know how long we have. I don't want to go too long.
No, that's fine.
Number 1 was technical, and I know people don't get in this industry of online marketing because they think it's too technical. So that's why I'm listing it number 1. Number 1, the skill of technical, ethics, communication, coaching, and motivating. And when you think of technical, the competency is, do you know your job well? Do you know the technical side of it, where you have confidence and respect, and that you have that technical skill to go on. Because when you get in this industry, that technical skill is being you and sharing your stuff and how you do that. And I just had one of my team members over at my house today when we were just like, how do you upload a video? I am stuck on just doing that. I made them on my phone. Now where do I get them on YouTube? You know, I was like, it has YouTube right there. And there's like, they said not to do that. I was like, you got to start somewhere. You know, you got to download it, rename it for your keyword you want to do, put your name in there, and then upload. So we're getting Dropbox going, and we're getting, you know, Handbrake going to make the file smaller, rename it, reformat it, and all this fancy stuff, right? And so be confident that you're going through the training. All of us in this team, we've got technical knowledge we can share from videos after videos to go through to learn that. Number 2, I think is powerful in this industry as well as ethics. In online marketing, people are so skeptical of being scammed that they're putting their money in it and they're not going to get it out. You know, they put so much investment and they're not going to make any money with it. And so it goes a lot with trust in there. So the ethics is making sure what they're doing is right. And to set that good example, people have to trust you, right? They have to respect and what you're showing and what you're doing is right. And people are like, I know they joke about this all the time, but they're like, you're in that Power Network scam again. You're just shaming people. And man, they know how to shame people because they're awesome marketers. Because they're so powerful and getting the emotions in there and knowing what's right, what is the right ethics. And they put everything to make business, all corporate side of it as well, which is, I think, was really powerful. And people didn't really think Power Network was real until they had their corporate panel on stage. I'm seriously, people did not believe that. I was like, yes, I love the lawyer. You know, I was like all into that, you know. So we got the lawyer back behind it and everything, because so many people just jump into business and they don't have that backing to it, and that's very powerful. Number 3, the communication. And the competency is how you can be direct and correct and listen and be an influence, right? And there's so many ways of communication that we can use. If you don't think you speak well, you can still be very successful in this business because you can type it all out. You can be deaf, you can be blind, the communication, you can be in a different country. And I think that was powerful. I think David Wood is actually understanding that, you know, his Empower Hour calls are being transcribed. They are being, you know, people are writing it out. People are sign languaging it out. They are changing it into different languages. And knowing the power of communication from his one audio every week is so powerful on how it's changing the world, how it's changing communication out there in the world. I think that's powerful going. As soon as his audio is uploaded, I'm sure people are transcribing it. They're changing different languages. They are sign languaging people. And if more you can do that and be in front of your influence is more powerful. And the results is, you know, you're making fewer mistakes. And so you see leaders grow as well. We're all growing. They're all getting better. And I like the last Empower Hour call, how we mentioned that, you know, we know we're all growing and we know we're keep improving. It's like, that's the best call. And you're like, how can you top that? You got to get another best call. You know, keep getting the better hangouts, right? And then number 4, the coaching. This is where you dive down, I think, into really true deep leadership aspects when you're able to soak in what you just learned, and now everybody's got to go and teach what I just taught you. You're able to train your team now, going, go watch this, go, you know, do it in front of your audience where you can develop them, encourage them, and create that greater commitment in that they're going to take action and feel satisfied with that, and you know, be happy that you're building more trust in the coaching that you're giving them. I think that's so powerful where, you know, I was looking into coaching and just doing coaching, and I think Lawrence does a lot of, you know, coaching too, where you're where people just pay for, you know, your hours worth of coaching. And I felt like I was so tied down. And I did a little interview of her when she gave the right after the leadership conference on coaching, because that was like my main, I was like, I want to take coaching to a new level, which is why I got in this business. I didn't want to sit down for an hour and, talk to people one-on-one. But really, it's true coaching is listening, and listening to what people's needs are. So don't think that you have to spill out your knowledge in like a coaching call. You need to be listening to your team members, what their needs are, and in order to train them in the right direction. What experience have you had, to take them in new levels? So I always think, now I'm thinking of coaching as listening. Who do I want to listen to my problems to make sure that I'm going in the right direction? So I'm going to that Inner Power this weekend in Houston, and I'm so excited. Everybody's going to be listening to me, right? Number 1 was technical, 2 was ethics, number 3 was communication, number 4 is coaching, and number 5 is motivating. The motivating is having that acknowledgement and that connection of kind of everything you've put together. When you see that you're self-motivated, you've created that higher morale, you've generated greater productivity and greater loyalty to the direction you're going. So I think that motivation is just kind of like that, aha, it's all put together now. You got that motivation factor, that's your key in putting your leadership all together. So it was really neat to hear all of this. You're ready for the action steps now. Here's your plan of action. I didn't really write these out, so I probably should be going through this with you. I put a whole new action steps on my blog, and they are a little different, like sharing strengths. Yeah, it might be a little bit the same. Okay, here's the first sentence. The leadership strengths I have, and you can share, fill it out. What are the leadership strengths that you already have?
What are the, sorry, can you say that again?
What are the leadership strengths that you already have? Leadership strengths I already have are share your characteristics. You listed some down for others, or what you think is a leader. Now you got to describe yourself. That's so hard.
Who wants to go first?
I'm ready.
Yeah, you can go first.
I'm still thinking, actually. Passionate, I would say, for me. I'm a very passionate person.
That's good.
Tam? Are you there?
You're on mute. Oh, me? Sorry.
No, Tam. No, Tam.
Tam?
Just the one thing.
Yep.
I think it would have to be caring. So because for me to lead or help anyone, I first have to care for them, right? So unless I feel that sort of attachment, I wouldn't exert so much effort.
Awesome. JJ?
Well, if well, I have a few, but if I have to pick one, probably strong. I'm strong-minded, most of the time. So.
You're a very strong woman. I don't think you realize how strong you are, JJ.
Oh, thank you, Tian.
Em?
I would say I would, I could say strong too, but I think I could go for I pay good attention to people. Yeah.
Awesome.
You're a great listener.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I pay good attention to people and their needs, I would say.
Awesome. Alecia, do you want to share yours?
Yeah, I put down first strong and smile. That just has the posture for me that gives me the strength and show me the passion that I'm there for them.
Awesome. Alan?
I say contribution is like I always want to contribute and actually provide value to the marketplace. So even though wherever community, I would like to give things and share things that I learn, different things like that.
Awesome. Some really good ones there.
Good. This one really dives down to it more. Leadership skills I must improve and implement immediately. So you have to positive and then you have a negative. It's like showing your weakness, I guess. What have you seen and the leadership skills of the people you've seen here, or the leadership skills that you've learned from books, something that you've got to work on and implement right away.
Alan, you can go first.
Sorry, I missed the question. Was taking action?
What leadership skills do you think you need to improve on?
Oh, well, I'm definitely improving communication, and also and really better listening. Like because sometimes you like to talk a lot, but the most important is understanding what the marketplace wants to reveal to you. I mean, listening is very important.
It sure is. Yeah. Alecia?
Yeah, that's what I put. I need to did they say like 80-20, right? I need to do more of that 80% research. And I was just doing that going, I've got to make 5 videos on a new topic that I'm really not familiar with. And I'm like, I've got to spend, more of that time researching that, make sure I'm getting the right information that the audience needs out there. Right.
It definitely makes a huge difference to your business, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I'm not sure if there's a good one, but I think one thing is taking criticism. If you're a leader, you must be able to take what you're bad at, and then improve. So yeah, sorry.
No, that's awesome. Em?
I totally agree with Alecia and Alan too. I mean, it's really important to be open to receive criticism, and definitely try to improve communication. But I think that even when it comes to communication, you can always there's always room for improvement when it comes down to communication, and I think it's just that the dynamic that you have with your team members and trying to really understand them. Like Alan says, it's easy to listen, but really trying to understand them and what they truly need for themselves is at another level, right? So communication, I would say, for me.
Awesome. JJ?
A little bit of everybody. No, just kidding. If I were to pick one for myself, I would say I need to learn more on stop being perfectionist. I guess I have such high standards for myself in everything I do. I take pride in my work, so I criticize myself. I critique myself all the time, and I need to learn to lighten up on myself. And the thing I also need to improve on would be probably, like Em and Alan and Alecia said, also listening to what the audience or the customers, whoever you're communicating with. Listen more to what they're trying to tell you. So I guess listening and communication as well.
Cool. Tam?
Yeah, it's awesome that you touched on that point of being a perfectionist, because I don't think there is a perfect leader, is there, guys? I mean, and I don't think there's, if you want to achieve perfection, I don't think you can ever achieve perfection. What is perfect, right? Like when you're making videos, You know, I mean, you're trying to make a perfect video. I mean, is there a perfect video out there ever? I mean, but the thing for me is, right, there's so much to become a great leader. There's so much. Even the great leaders today, they could improve on so much. And yes, I can improve on all those points that you guys have touched on. But personally, for me, I think the biggest one would be time management, right? And time management is such a biggie one for me. I'm like David Wood, right? I'm like at 1,000 places doing 1,000 things, and I track something for a little while, and then I forget it, and I move on to the next thing, and I do everything like a big poof like that. And but that's okay, because we're not supposed to be perfect here, and it just shows that here we are, not professionals, not perfectionists, and we're still making money here with the internet. So I mean, it's okay, but that's where I need to improve on.
Oh, that's awesome, and I think that ties into mine as well. For me, it would be focus. Not allowing myself to be easily distracted. So I need to learn more to focus, and I think that probably has a lot to do with time management as well, Tam. So great point. Thank you. Alecia, was there anything?
You also gave some great ideas, because when I was thinking of these different skills that we need to improve on immediately, I immediately thought of some leaders that touch on these different skills, like time management. Edmund Pagan had a huge course on just time management and stuff, and focus, and you can get that in Empower Network too. Just that last Empower Network call, he changes you how to change your mindset and your thinking to not criticize yourself. How are you thinking, and just soaking in some of that leadership skills. So knowing what we need to implement and improve immediately just focuses right into the training that we know we need to soak in a little bit more. Just going, oh, I'm missing that. Now I need to go listen to that leader that touches that topic or does that skill that I need to improve on, and grow a little bit more from that. I need to learn from that. I need to read that. I need to soak that in a little bit more in order to figure out that change in ourselves, right? I was like, oh, that sticks out. I need to go to that leader and learn that skill a little bit more. So there's a couple different things that you can take from that improve immediately. That should be at the top of your list of going to that training that you need to study to work on that right away. And then she goes into, what are leadership skills I want to gradually put into action, because there's some that you want to do right now. We need to improve. I need to make sure I get that research down pat. And how do people research? People go into ways to research different things that they need to make sure that the audience knows, and there's like a structure that people research. Like Tracy Bruner on YouTube videos and keyword research. Know how they do their research on there and what people need, or how do you take criticism, research that inner circle audio, how you can fix the way you think. So powerful. On implementing immediately what you want to gradually put into action, and take your steps on where you see your future. And then the last thing is the results I will accomplish from taking action on those skills that you want to improve immediately will be, what do you see yourself, visualize yourself improving after you have these leadership skills that you've been working on? How do you visualize yourself being after you're not a perfectionist anymore and you're bold enough to go out there and not criticize yourself that I did it, and I got better, and that looks better because I focused that I wasn't a perfectionist or criticized the way I was, and that it became more awesome than I even thought it would be, because I didn't even notice. I just took action. I don't know. There's just so many ways that you got to visualize what you want to accomplish, and learning those leadership skills that you want to accomplish and improve immediately on. And so then you go into the results you want to accomplish, and how do you see yourself in 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and just place yourself in the future, or what you want to visualize there. So I think that was really key on, if you're a leader, you have a vision. You know what you want to look at, who you want to be in being out there. And so write those down, and then she wrote, I'm committed to following my plan of action, and you have to write your signature and date it. So make sure you date that date on here and sign it and close it up in your black box right now. So that was really key, and I I've got that on my blog post as well. If you want to, copy and paste and put it real nice. I don't know. A lot of people do fancy stuff on their computer on taking notes, but that was what I found was very effective. Don't make a decision. If you don't make a decision, it won't be effective on that. And she just laid out some powerful quotes and from all these leaders. And I'm not a quote person, but you can tell like people who read a lot do quote a lot. Like I listen to the Think and Grow Rich, and he's always listing quotes out there. And there's a couple of other. Aaron Rashkin is a big guy. He's just talking quotes all the time. and I need to soak in more of those quotes. I think that's very powerful in sharing that leadership qualities that you're always soaking in knowledge for other people like that. So goals to be, visions to be, and I think it was fun discussing other leaders that we look up to and that we're around that really shape who we are and creating that vision of who we want to be. And I think that's powerful that everybody, no matter what industry you're in, no matter who you are, that we all need to be leaders and servants to others and keep growing and creating that vision of really who you are, because everybody's vision is different. I'm different from Alan, I'm different from M, and I guess I'm doing the right way, I don't know. M, Alan, I always get these mirrors backwards. But we're all a different person, and we all want to create, a different type of leader in ourselves, and you see that. I think it's amazing in Empower Network. You see the different types of teams, and you see the different types of leadership that they go for, and people are attracted to different types of teams. But it's so exciting to see what each of them offer too, and what maybe are their weaknesses or their strengths, and to really cultivate it to an elite team. So make sure that you do, not just in our team take massive action, but you are aware of the other teams out there and what they are doing to keep their team together, to keep their leadership, and what leadership qualities that they know of, and not even inside Empower Network, but, out there in the corporate world and everything else. I think some people get so stuck in their business, and so that their team and their business is the best thing ever, but they don't ever reach out to know, what are the other, companies doing, what are their teams doing to help them create leadership, because we always have something to learn from another. And people can come into Empower Network from any company out there, from any industry, and have success. And this is a viral blog, you can share it with your audience. I think that's why Empower Network is so powerful, because it creates the massive audiences out there. And so I love that, and I thank you guys for having me out tonight and sharing. I hope I didn't talk too much. I was doing that. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Alecia, and definitely spoken like a true leader. It was just, thank you for sharing those interesting concepts. Definitely something to think about. I might just go through the panel and see if anyone's got any questions for you. Tam?
Actually, we were working. You got us working for once. and I hope, if you're watching this right now, you enjoyed what just happened today. It's completely different to what we normally do, but I suppose it's a different kind of way that we are providing value, and I hope you got something out of that. And definitely, leadership is putting yourself out there, is taking action, and so people can take action behind you. So the difference between a boss and a leader is that a boss would say go, and a leader would say let's go, right? So if you're not out there to do these things, well, you're not setting an example, you're not really a leader. So if you make sure part of Empower, so you're making videos like us, you're blogging like us, on top of that you're monetizing your blog, monetizing your videos, and we give you 100% commission. So make sure you hit the link below and get involved with this leadership and grow together with us.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam.
JJ?
Thanks, Tam. Alecia, wow, that one exercise about the thumbs of the left over the right, and when I was saying, that all of their left thumb was on top, I'm like, am I the oddball here, with the right one on top? But, It's gonna take some time to get used to it, but like you said, I mean, you got to step out of the comfort zone. You do what you don't feel comfortable doing, and that's part of being a leader. You take charge and you take responsibility of your own action, and lead by example. That's how I've always been taught. And you mentioned about your dad being one of the leaders or someone who inspired you and motivated you. Mine passed away last year, but he had left, for a lot of inspiring, stories and quotes. And in fact, Zig Ziglar was one of his favorite motivational speakers, so that's why he's also mine too. But there was one. One thing I like about you always think outside the box, just like going back to that example of the exercise with the thumbs. And Steve Jobs, for a lot of you who know who he is or was, he passed away. He was the founder and the CEO of Apple, but he said something very profound. He said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." So you always consistently think outside the box. Think of what you can do better, more effective, more efficient for yourself, for your team. That's why one of the first thing they had asked about one of my strengths, I said problem solver, because I'm always looking for something more efficient to do, more better way to make things work. Sorry, my dog is barking. Hold on. Sorry, guys. But that's one of the reasons why I was able to become so efficient in what I was doing when I was in corporate America. I was able to cut down my full day down to almost half. Of course, my boss saw me doing such a great job. Start piling more work on me. But anyway. That's all I have to say for this evening. Back to you, Tien.
Thank you, JJ. Your thoughts?
Well, I just want to say, I just want to thank Alecia for coming on and for sharing, the amazing content like she did, and I appreciate you involving the panel here and trying to get the crowd or the viewers who are listening in to comment. Guys, maybe you didn't comment this time, but it would be fun if you guys did try to interact with us so we know, that you're listening and that, if you have any questions or you have any comments to share, don't hesitate to just step away because we will pay attention to it. But I love Hangouts as well. Every Monday, right? Time kind of changes sometimes.
Yeah, it's going to be Wednesday at 4:30. I'm going to have this awesome blogger. It's going to talk about blogging and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. But make sure that you catch her as well. I mean, I've had the privilege to be on her Hangouts as well. She invites me all the time, and when I can, then I'm there. But I mean, everything that you shared about leadership is definitely on point. I think, like Tam mentioned, leaders are always striving to become a better version of themselves. It doesn't matter what income level they've already achieved, whether they've come up to, a 6-figure a month or 7-figure or 8-figure. There's room for improvement. And that's what's so great about this company with Power, because people are always striving to become better, no matter what income level they're at, because it's how it's just more empowering that way. And like Joanne said, lead by example, do the right thing, and pay attention. It's all about providing value to the community. The more value you provide, then money will follow. So as long as you switch mentality, instead of thinking, oh, I need to make money, I want to make money, I'm going to make money today, to that mentality of, how can I help other people today? How can I help 2 people today? How can I? But really, once you switch it to that mentality, then that's when money will follow. So that's what I back to you, Tian.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Em. Alan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, first of all, thank you, Alecia, for sharing, your insight on leadership as well as getting us involved with your exercise. But I mean, leadership is a very huge topic that we could, spend 3 days discussing. But in a recent hangout, we talk about, first lead yourself, then lead the many. You have to lead by example. If you look at some of the really successful companies in the world, like Apple's, for example, I mean, they are, a company powered by people. Culture is pretty much empowering their staff to take on responsibilities, right? Instead of forcing them to do this, do that, right? Because the moment that you force someone to do something they don't really want, and at the end of the day, you won't get the best potential out of them. So I think within the Empower Network, I mean, we keep saying again and again that we are a leadership factory because we actually go outside your comfort zone and doing things that you have never done before to get that breakthrough. By just plugging into our community, Facebook groups, hangouts, you'll get the most out of summarize. One key thing is basically just always be a student, always learn every day and how to. Because if you look at, money is really the amount of value provided in the marketplace. So and then like Em and all the rest of our panel said, then money will follow. So back to you, Tian.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess for me, open communication, there are, because we can't, not everyone is comfortable in front of the camera, but, they, yeah, I mean, we've got people in Empower Network who are blind and deaf, and they're making money. So, there's so many different ways that you can communicate, and I guess as a leader, it's tapping into, stepping into your power, and that's what we do here. That's all we do, and it's adding value. Showing people a better way, a smarter way, or a quicker way. And yeah, just thank you so much, Alecia, for the great things you've shared with us tonight. Are there any final thoughts or you want to share with our listeners?
It was so much fun, guys. Thank you so much. And I see, the passion. I think we've grown in this hangout together, and now we know really what leadership quote or book that we're studying, and we're sharing those different types of leadership that you can grow in, and we know our different strengths and weaknesses, and can lean on each other as a team to help grow each other as in the different aspects that we all need. And I think it's so powerful here in Empower Network that we're just truly a community and truly a team. No matter which team you join, Team Take Massive Action, or what other team in Empower Network, we're all in empowering each other, which is why you listen to some of the audios and they're like, you just named it perfect in being an Empower Network, because we all want to empower each other. And so we want to make sure you click the link below. It doesn't take much to check it out, $25 to check it out, to decide, because really pretty much by the time I call them a week later and they've checked it out, decided whether they're going all in or not. So it really takes you step by step and really looking at it, and looking at the team and the resources that you have available to show how you yourself can grow, because there is no convincing here. You've decided yourself whether you're a leader or not, and you decide by checking it out yourself, by clicking the link. Curious at that, on how can I really step out into my true purpose and being a true leader of to be, and knowing that we all can grow, we all need to grow in who we want to be, who we need to be for the people around us, for our families, for the friends, and being more growing in that we have that weakness, and that nobody's perfect. So grow in the way you need to grow, and we're all here. We had a great time.
Thank you. Yeah, so just step into your greatness, take action, and we'll see you on the inside. Thanks for joining us, and join us again for tomorrow.
See you later.
Bye.